you remember sliding across the front seat of your dad's old Chevy when he took a sharp turn, or piling the whole family plus the neighbor's kid into the car for a weekend drive, not a seatbelt in sight? If you were lucky, you got the window seat. If you were really lucky, you got to sit in the front middle right between mom and dad. Today, we're taking a cruise back to the 1960s when cars were roomy, roads felt freer, and safety was more of a suggestion than a rule. So buckle up well, if you want to, and join me as we take a joyride through one of the most unforgettable eras in American car culture. Welcome back to the channel where memories live in the rearview mirror, and every story takes you home again. Today's ride is all about the days when cars were more than just a way to get around. They were living rooms on wheels. We're talking bench seats wide enough to stretch out on windows you cranked by hand, and dashboards that gleamed with chrome. No beeping sensors, no warning lights, and definitely no seatbelt nagging. In this episode, we'll revisit the classic car interiors of the 1960s, the freedom of open road driving, and those little details you might have forgotten, like the smell of vinyl on a hot summer day, or the click of the turn signal that never canceled. I still remember sitting in my granddad's old Buick Electra, the AM radio, buzzing with "I Got You Babe" by Sonny and Cher, and thinking, this is what freedom feels like. Maybe you felt that too. Let's fire up the engine and take a ride back. Back then, the front bench seat was the heart of the car. No center consoles, no bucket seats, just one wide, uninterrupted cushion that stretched from door to door. It was like sitting on your living room couch, only it moved. For many of us, it was where memories were made. That seat held whispered conversations, shared ice cream cones, and if you were a teenager in the late 60s, maybe even your first kiss under the stars at the drive-in. Do you remember how we used to scoot across that seat to sit right next to our sweetheart while cruising down Main Street? No seat dividers, no barriers, just two people and a big soft bench between them and the open road. Of course, those seats didn't just hold people, they held everything else too. Paper road maps stuffed in the glove box, a pack of Wrigley's gum in the ashtray, and the inevitable crumbs from a roadside burger stop. And for the kids, the back bench seat was like a playground. You could stretch out for a nap, build a pillow fort on long drives, or slide from side to side when Dad took a curve too fast. No car seats, no boosters, just your mom's arm flying across your chest if she had to stop short. We didn't think twice about it back then. Safety was a handshake, not a regulation. It wasn't until 1968 that the federal government required seatbelts in new cars. Before that, they were optional, and frankly, most folks just shoved the straps behind the seat to get them out of the way. Do you recall what your family car was back then? A Plymouth Fury, a Chevrolet Bel Air, maybe a Dodge Dart with tail fins that looked like something out of the Jetsons? Let me know in the comments, what was your family's go-to ride in the 60s? Back in the 60s, a road trip wasn't just a way to get from point A to point B, it was the event itself. You packed up the car with a thermos of coffee, a cooler of bologna sandwiches, and maybe a stack of comic books or Mad magazines for the kids. Then you hit the road with a full tank of gas and a half-folded Texaco map riding shotgun. There were no GPS systems barking at you. If you got lost, you asked someone at the next gas station, maybe a man in a Sinclair uniform with oil-stained hands and a smile on his face. And, oh, the roadside attractions. The world's biggest ball of twine, a dinosaur made of concrete, or that little motel shaped like teepees. Each one was a moment of wonder, especially for the kids peering out the back window. Motel stops were part of the fun too. You'd pull into a place with a neon sign that said color TV and air conditioning, like they were selling gold. If there was a pool, even better. That meant the kids could burn off energy while mom and dad sat on plastic-webbed lawn chairs sipping something cold from the ice machine bucket. Do you remember your family's go-to snacks for road trips? Was it a bag of Fritos? A bottle of RC Cola? Maybe Dad kept a pouch of Red Man tobacco in the glove box. And Mom always packed those butterscotch candies in her purse. And the music? Oh, the music. Just the crackle of an AM station fading in and out as you rolled through small towns. Maybe the Beach Boys sang about a 409, or Roy Orbison's voice soared across the dashboard. If you were lucky, you'd pick up a powerful station like WLS out of Chicago or Coma from Oklahoma City. It was simple, it was slow, and it was together. No one was buried in a phone or streaming a video. Everyone looked out the window and watched the country roll by. In the 1960s, owning a car wasn't just practical, it was a statement. It said who you were, what you valued, and where you were headed. And for teenagers, it was your first real taste of independence. Cars like the 1965 Mustang, the Pontiac GTO, or the Chevy Nova weren't just machines, they were dreams on wheels. Every Friday night, parking lots at burger joints like A.I.B.W. or Big Boy became unofficial car shows. Engines revved, headlights blinked, and radios blasted the latest hits from the Supremes or the Rolling Stones. Do you remember cruising the strip in your hometown? Maybe you were behind the wheel, or maybe riding shotgun elbow out the window with the breeze rolling in. Drive-in theaters were the other big social hub. You'd pull in, hang the tinny speaker on your window, and settle in for a double feature. Maybe you saw Bonnie and Clyde or The Graduate Under the Stars. Kids would climb into the back seat with blankets, while couples in the front seat, well, let's just say they weren't always watching the movie. Car clubs popped up everywhere, guys with rolled-up sleeves and grease-stained jeans gathering in garages to tune their engines, swap parts, and brag about horsepower. It was the golden age of the home mechanic. If something broke, you didn't go to the dealership. You popped the hood and fixed it yourself. And let's not forget the drag strips and local race nights. Whether it was the roar of a V8 or the thrill of going 0 to 60 in under 10 seconds, there was a magic to it. The kind of adrenaline rush that made you feel like Steve McQueen in Bullitt. So many memories tied to the smell of gasoline, the rattle of a loose hubcap, and that thrill of a green light turning the world into a blur. As warm and free as those memories are, there's another side to the story we can't forget. Safety. Back in the 1960s, seatbelts were rare, and when they were there, most folks ignored them. It wasn't until 1968 that seatbelts became federally required in all new U.S. vehicles, and even then it took years before wearing them became second nature. Do you remember the first time someone insisted you wear one? It felt strange, even unnecessary. After all, we'd spent years sliding around those bench seats perfectly happy. But times changed, and for good reason. Along with seatbelts came padded dashboards, collapsible steering columns, and by the late 60s, the early whispers of airbags. These innovations saved lives, even if they took some of the Wild West spirit out of driving. And yet, even with all the improvements, there's something we lost along the way. That sense of connection, of shared space, of a car being a family capsule, not just a mobile command center with everyone tuned into their own screen. Today's vehicles are safer, cleaner, and more efficient, but they don't quite smell like hot vinyl and gasoline on a summer afternoon, and they don't rattle the same way when you hit a gravel road with the windows down. Do you think we traded too much for comfort, or did we strike the right balance? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Your story matter here. So there you have it, a ride back through time when bench seats ruled the road and the open highway called your name without a GPS in sight. We remembered the hum of white-wall tires, the taste of root beer floats at a drive-in diner, and the freedom of piling in the car without buckling a single strap. It was a different world, one filled with chrome cranks and character. Yes, safety has come a long way, and no one's arguing we should go back to the days of loose toddlers in the front seat. But there's still something special about remembering how it felt to ride to roam and to belong in a world that moved a little slower and maybe noticed each other a little more. If this video brought back memories, I'd love to hear them. What was your first car? What do you miss the most about riding in the 1960s? Please like, subscribe, and share this with someone who remembers. Because the best stories are the ones we tell together. Until next time, keep the motor running and the memories alive.